We are Global Pacific. We are a pool of talented and professional tradespeople, and we can do it all. So there we go. We got drainage, big, huge drainage project. We're like 9 feet down. We had to bring in a machine. This is the sort of stuff we find with old pipe. It's usually full of mud because it wasn't done correct in the first place. That's how you do it properly. We put it back. It's all surrounded by gravel and wrap. So it doesn't get full of mud later, and that's the finished job right there. We usually find cracks in foundations. While we're there, that's the time to fix them. Expanding concrete, then we seal them with a compound, sometimes rubber, and then we put the piping back, obviously. Picture's worth 1,000 words, so that's why we're doing it this way. Underground parkage, they eventually start to leak. You can see the water damage there. Getting onto people's cars does damage. How come, we say? Well, let's have a look. We got a sprinkler, we got a roof drain, all coming down into the same area. We saw what happens today when a lot of water comes down. When we clean out the mess, what do we have? We have an unsealed slab joint. So what do? We fill it with concrete, expanding concrete, and then we put a membrane over it. And like any good contractor, we water test it before we cover it back up. Make sure it's still not leaking. That's what we've done there. And then, hey, let's put the water where it ought to go, down the pipe. Again, this was a building that didn't do anything about the water that was coming in for so long that is what's left of the rebar, which obviously is an important part of the structure. So we had to chip it out of there. We had to put new rebar in. But that's not enough to hold up the center of the building, so we had to have steel beams manufactured and welded into place so the whole building didn't collapse in. And that's what's happening there. We do home renos. Nice. This is an old kitchen with a nice sunshine ceiling. Lots of those around still. It's hard to see because they picked kind of dark color, but that's an unused portion of it wasn't big enough for a dining room table, so it was kind of unused. Anyway, what do? We rip it all out. We put in new electrical, recessed lighting, outlet boxes where they should be. And then what we did there is we brought in a nice island that has become a social area for them. New cabinetry. The flooring there is real hardwood. It's hickory, so it's nice and hard. Good, perfect for a kitchen. Quartz countertop. It turned out nice. I didn't quite have a finished picture. We do flooring. This was a daycare center, so we could only do flooring either after hours or during the weekends. It was divided into 2 sections, so we managed to do it 2 weekends in a row. Just turned out good. This was an addition on site of a guy's house. It was a nightmare. It was his man cave. It was unusable. They didn't even put the wood on the concrete blocks to protect it. That was so hopeless. What we do there is we just knock that down and start again, which is what we're doing. Make a nice clean flat area for our forms. And after that's all formed up, we're bringing in the concrete. Because it was a backyard, rather than truck it all in with wheelbarrows, we bring in a pump truck and go right over the roof. And then we got our hands and our feet and everything else dirty. Let it cure for a few days, then we're framing. We wanted to make it nice and bright in there, so we framed up for windows and skylights. We framed things and sealed things up properly. That's a rubber wrap around the framing, so they'll never leak. Then we boarded. Then we mudded. Then we painted. Not quite. And then we tiled, put some nice flooring down. And we trimmed out the outside real nice, flashed it. And on this one we actually finished with some nice architectural veneer. Turned out nice. That was a totally in-house job. All Global's crew. That's an old bathroom, that's the new bathroom. When we were finished, that's a shot from the door, that's a shot from the shower. Again, old bathroom. They're kind of hard bathrooms are hard to take pictures of, so. They didn't have a shower. They wanted a shower, so we created one in the opposite corner from the door. New cabinets. Can't go with the old stuff. 5 minutes, thank you. And we also tiled the floor, and they kept the bathtub, but we retiled the surround. We do buildings, strata buildings. That was an old stucco and brick building with single pane windows. I think it was about 38 years old. We ripped off the whole envelope, we shrouded it, protected it. It was about an 8-month job. And then what we did is replace it all with some nice hardy plank, flash it. Obviously we did the roof as well. Those are energy efficient windows, self-cleaning, because who wants to get up there and clean? Yeah. Tell you about that later. Old deck, new deck. We put on styrofoam blocks so it drains better and it doesn't damage the roof. A little nicer than an old plank deck. That's the new roof, the old roof that we were ripping apart. And a couple of pictures of the new roof going down. It was a big project, took us about 3 months in West Van. The roof was leaking into the upper floor apartments, so they needed to do something. There we go, finished roof.
You guys do a lot. Yeah.
This was a wall that was literally falling off its frame. It had been framed with steel and it had gone rusty. We reframed it with huge steel beams. We went with steel because if we changed the type of framing, we would have had to jump through all these permits, all these hoops with the city. Anyway, it turned out nice. It went back to stucco, new windows again. Of course, we do decks. This is a deck on the back of a house. The old one almost fell over. It fell over when we pulled on it. So we frame it up with some nice pressure-treated lumber and chip away at it. Nice cedar top and nice sturdy rail. And there it is, finished. Nicest deck in the neighborhood. Obviously, we do vinyl decks as well. We do the drains properly, unlike some people. Big drain, and the vinyl wraps inside, so it never ever leaks. We also do the seams properly because they should be welded with a heat gun. That's the product, not just glued. That way the seams never come apart. You want a garage, we can build your garage. Nice thing about a project like this, or the goal is when you're finished, it actually looks like it was been there since the day the house was built. And I think we succeeded.
Nice.
On top of that, it was a great big deck. One of the things we always do, like I said with the membrane, is we check before we put the finished product on. Yep. Okay. We check the heating pad before we tile, because if it doesn't work, it's kind of a pain to figure it out after. That's the kitchen of the big reno we did earlier this year, and that's the dining room, living room. Of course, we do windows. You saw that earlier. We take out old single pane windows and we trim them out properly with flashing and energy efficient windows. We do lots of forms. We work with concrete a lot. You got to build strong forms when you're working with concrete. You don't want blowouts. It's messy and it's a problem. Steps we did. And big block of concrete there for storage. And we did a path all the way around the back of the house. We protect the windows. We pour in concrete, it goes everywhere. Phil actually painted this house for us. And Trevor did the flashing. Yep. Around the corner here, there's the back pads leading into the back door. Lots of guys love making it, and lots of guys love tearing it up. After all, we're boys. So we do that too. This was a building out in White Rock. We tore up the first layer of concrete so we could reseal the slab, and that's what it looked like when it finished. There's Steve. Some of you guys have met him. That's the exit door on the south end. That's what it looked like when we're finished. Couple more slides. I think we're done, or we could be done now. There we go. Global Pacific, world-class results.